Your one subscription can help make a needy person's life easier. 40% of this channel's earnings will be dedicated to helping people in need. Thank you for being part of this journey. Hook, she wasn't just a singer. She became the voice of a generation. She conquered the world with a voice that seemed almost impossible. Millions admired her. Millions loved her. But behind the applause, behind the sold-out concerts, behind the brightest smile, was a woman fighting battles that the world could not see. This is the unforgettable story of Whitney Houston. Whitney Elizabeth Houston was born on August 9, 1963, in Newark, New Jersey. Music was not simply part of her family, it was part of their lives. Her mother, Cissy Houston, was a respected gospel singer. Her cousin was the legendary Dionne Warwick. And family friend, Aretha Franklin, was already one of America's greatest voices. From the very beginning, Whitney grew up surrounded by extraordinary music, but no one imagined that one day, she would become one of the greatest singers the world had ever known. As a little girl, Whitney loved singing in church. Every Sunday, she stood in the choir, singing gospel songs with honesty and emotion. People quickly noticed something different about her voice. It wasn't just powerful, it was pure, warm, and unforgettable, even as a teen. She practiced tirelessly, she listened carefully to every note. She believed perfection came through discipline. Before becoming famous, Whitney worked as a model. She appeared in magazines. She walked confidently in front of cameras. But deep inside, she knew modeling was never her true dream. Her heart belonged to music. Everything changed when legendary music producer Clive Davis heard her sing. The moment Whitney opened her mouth, he knew he had discovered someone truly special. He immediately offered her a recording contract. It became one of the most important decisions in music history. Whitney's debut album was released in 1985. The world listened and instantly fell in love. Her voice was unlike anything people had ever heard. Powerful, elegant, emotional, and unbelievably pure. Song after song became a massive success. Soon, Whitney Houston was no longer just a talented young singer. She came and conquered. She broke record after record. Her album sold millions of copies across the world. Concerts were sold out within hours. Fans waited for days just to see her perform. Then came one of the biggest moments of her career. In 1992, Whitney starred in The Bodyguard alongside Kevin Costner. The movie became a global success. But something even greater happened. She recorded a song that would become one of the greatest songs in music history, I Will Always Love You. The song touched millions of hearts. It stayed at the top of music charts around the world. Even today, people still consider it one of the greatest vocal performances ever recorded. Whitney had become more than a superstar. She had become a legend. Awards continued to follow her. Grammy Awards, American Music Awards, Billboard Awards. Every stage welcomed her with standing ovations. To millions of people, Whitney Houston wasn't simply singing. She was telling stories through her voice. But while the world celebrated her success, a different story was quietly unfolding behind the curtains. Behind the fame, behind the awards, and behind the brightest smile, Whitney Houston was carrying a heavy burden. The pressure of fame became overwhelming. Personal struggles slowly began to affect her life. The same woman who once inspired millions was now fighting battles that no audience could see. Her performances became less frequent. Her health began to decline. Yet, whenever she stepped onto a stage, the magic of her voice reminded the world why she was so extraordinary. Then came the heartbreaking day, February 11, 2012. The world woke up to shocking news. Whitney Houston had passed away at the age of 48. Millions of fans could not believe it. Tributes poured in from every corner of the world. Artists, leaders, and ordinary people all remembered the woman whose voice had touched their hearts. But death could never silence her music. Her songs still play across the world. New generations continue discovering her incredible talent, and every time someone hears, I Will Always Love You, her voice lives again. Whitney Houston proved that true greatness is not measured by fame alone. It is measured by the lives you touch, the hope you inspire, and the legacy you leave behind. She wasn't just one of the greatest singers in history. She became one of the greatest voices the world will ever know. Because some singers perform, but legends live forever.